17 years ago, terrorists left a scar on America. As our nation heals, each generation has a duty to respond by remembering. So let us remember those who perished that day. Let us remember the first responders, other brave souls who rescued strangers, colleagues alike, from stricken buildings. Let us remember the passengers and crew of United Flight 93 who willingly sacrificed their lives for people they never met. Let us remember our servicemen and women, all Americans who continue to fight terrorism and defend our way of life. Most of all, let us remember to maintain our resolve, uphold our values, and make our country even better and stronger for the next generation.
When my wife passed, I wanted to give back, so that's how I got involved with the Senior Companion Program. One of my clients, Leland, I take him to his doctor's appointments. We go walking once in a while. We do a lot of reading. That's given me a reason to do exercises, do more walking. I have to keep myself healthy so that I can help them. I really believe that my clients do more for me sometimes than I do for them.
After I lost my eyesight, I wasn't able to work. Like in my position, nobody would hire me. So I got a little depressed. So I seen the ad in Traders for a foster grandparent. So I told myself, oh, let's go give it a try. I like to see the expressions on the kids when they're doing a good job, or even emotionally, they come and give you a hug in the morning, or it gave me more satisfaction. It gave me a purpose to get up. And I wanted to give my experience, my life experience, to somebody else.
I was a neurosurgeon for close to 25 years. I've done a lot of volunteer work, but perhaps the one that is most satisfying is delivering Meals on Wheels. As a doctor, I think volunteering, especially for an older person, is important to keep them going, having them get out of the house, move around, meet new people. It's healthy for their bodies, healthy for their minds, and it really makes them feel better about themselves and can help forestall some of the depression that occurs in later years.
Before I volunteered, I had a failed back surgery and I had been on opiates. You know, I just get up and kind of do the same things over and over. And when I started volunteering, now I have all these kids that need help and look to me for guidance, so I quit my opiates, and it's not just rewarding, but it's helped me tremendously. I get up in the morning, I know I'm going to the school, I know it's like having all these extra friends, and you get to have lunch with them, and just seeing the light come on for kids who aren't understanding something, and you see that light come on when they finally do, it finally clicks for them. So I think that's probably the most rewarding.
So from talking with some of the volunteers about their health, I think the biggest change is their mental health. It gives them a purpose, it gives them a reason to get up in the morning, to volunteer and go help another person. And that's whether they're seeing them in their home, or they're helping them on errands, or taking them to the doctor's appointment, or getting, even simple things like groceries. But it gives them a purpose to get up in the morning. It helps their health, and it also helps the client's health. And that's one great thing about the Senior Companion Program. The Foster Grandparent Program, it's kind of the same thing. It's the mental health of the volunteers, but it gets them out of the house, it gives them a purpose, and then they see the love of that child, and they get that love in return for them. And it's just the emotional support and the mental health for them really makes a huge, huge difference.
When I retired, I was like very sedentary. And when I got involved in foster grandparent, I was exercising a lot, walking the hallways, on the go. Being a foster grandparent has helped me a lot in my health, and I've lost a tremendous amount of weight, and it brought all my diabetes, A1C levels down a lot. With the children, you see their success, you see their progress, you see hope in them. It's seeing a child grow up and see them succeed, it's worth it all. And I've come really to appreciate that I can say to myself, I've invested in that child. It has made me feel a lot better about myself.
Yeah, after I lost my eyesight, being a volunteer built up my confidence.
Without foster grandparents, I would probably still be on opiates.
Being a Senior Corps volunteer has kept me active.
And without the foster grandparent program, I wouldn't be where I am now.
To learn more about the health benefits of being a Senior Corps volunteer, visit nationalservice.gov/healthyvolunteers.
Things spun up super rapidly, and we went from literally just like flying our normal flight schedule Friday afternoon to canceling it, but just kind of waiting to like, hey, if we can get a crew on the road now, that'd be awesome. Ops boss down there was like, hey man, you know, follow roads. You're not gonna run anything if you follow roads. We're getting a lot of 911 calls, so a lot of stuff is just addresses. So try to get there as best you can, and Josh and I ended up just using our phones. Whoever was not flying just had like Google Maps up, and we'd plug in the address and just, you know, I'd be like, here, take a right at this road, take a left at this road, just like you would if you were driving. At times, when a strong band came in, we couldn't see anything. And we would literally just be like, hey, there's a field here, there's a ballpark there, there's a parking lot here, we gotta put down and wait. And so we'd put down, you know, our flight mech would con us in, and we'd land and wait till it passed, and then we'd lift back up and start poking our nose through it. I had like multiple cases written down on my knee board, and we'd just try to go to the first one, either that came to fruition or it didn't, and we'd just go to the next one, and I'd punch it in and walk Josh through. By the end of the second day, they had like the huge pickup trucks, you know, with like 6 or 8 foot tires, and they were actually driving through like 6 feet of water. So we could actually drop them off on little dry areas, and then pickup trucks would come in and like throw a bunch of people in the back and drive away. We were given enough leash to operate independently, but it was just like, you know, case after case after case after case, sleep, case after case after case. So like just the longevity of it. You would take off, and as soon as you lifted, you know, visibility was like a quarter mile or less. And so planes were coming in to drop people off, planes were taking off, and it was all just kind of trying to see and avoid, but you could barely see your hand in front of your face.
Family service history. I guess it would start with my grandmother on my father's side. She served for the Foreign Service, and then it trickled down to my father. He wanted to give back to a country that did so much for him, gave him so much opportunity, so he joined the Navy. He worked from the bottom all the way up, from an E1, you know, nothing, to Chief Warrant Officer 4. My brother Marco Kalkbrenner, he joined, and my father enlisted him. And then while my brother was still in, I decided to enlist and serve as well. And enlisted through Fort Meade. I got a phone call. They're like, hey, you know, we got a spot open. Do you want to go? It's going to leave in like 2 or 3 days. And I said, sure. And I was like, but I mean, I'm not going to do it unless my father can enlist me. And they said, all right, well, can you get up here? I gave my dad a call. He's like, yeah, I'm packing my bags. I'm on my way. You know, and just dropped everything, took off from work, and drove up, and he swore me in.
It made me proud to see my brother, Yvonne, do the same thing, and especially for him to be in my career field, the career field that I was in for 20 years. It was amazing. My brother joining the military and following my footsteps, following my dad's footsteps in a way. It's just the Kalkbrenner thing to do now, you know. When you see my dad and you hear my dad talk, you know that he had Navy running through his blood and veins. So it was just being in the military. It was not like he didn't force us to do the military. We did it because we wanted to. We wanted to serve our country. We didn't do it for the school. We didn't do it for definitely didn't do it for the money. We did it because that was our calling. I wanted to serve my country, be it good, bad, or whatever situations we were in, deployed. You know, it just, for me, it was all about pride in serving my country.
It's only a matter of time before Marco's kids and my kids, you know, they start asking questions. You know, and we start explaining to them who our father was and who his mother was and why we served, you know, or why we're serving. And it's just like it did to us. Something's gonna light up, man, and that fire ain't gonna go out.
I think my grandmother would love this. James Bond.
Nice.
It's pretty though.
So to me, this looks like those things you buy on the internet that have a sword inside.
You think this is a walking stick that is also, I don't know what you call this.
Looks like just a cane, but obviously it's something more to it.
Absolutely.
Apparently, the vast majority of these like canes that you buy at these estate sales have like a sword hidden in them.
Wow, it's sharp.
Interesting how you're holding it.
I know.
This definitely can't go.
Give it a twist, America.
Oh no, this is no.
That is fantastic. No.
Can I have this?
Structures, but all three of them were, you know, not a rock to be seen. It was coral rubble as far as the eye could see, and live coral up on top, and a cover of live coral that I've only seen in a couple of places.
Yeah,
it's a lot of living, growing reef.
And it was everywhere. I mean, all the way up the slope from the base to the top.
What we've added up so far is, what, 86 miles?
We thought that that was going to be just like an escarpment, basically rock. And so it was really surprising when we got there, and it looked very similar to what you all saw. Just coral along the edges and live coral on top.
So now that we know this is here, we could think about, well, wait a minute, you know, the possibilities for where Lophelia could be forming reefs are now bigger than they used to be. So that's a real fundamental change in how we do exploration out here.
Yeah.
It's brand new. It's really different than anything we've seen before. The temperature profile is really weird here. And in a lot of ways that suggests to us that there are a lot more connections to shallow water than we would expect at 700 meters. All those waters are mixed. Everything that's happening up at the surface is very quickly being translated down to 700 meters. We see swordfish swimming all over them. You know, there's these big fish coming down to interact with these habitats.
Connections between water column productivity and the seafloor productivity, which cycles carbon and nutrients around. So putting the whole picture together gives us more predictive power that management can use to try and conserve and protect the systems.
And that's really the ultimate goal of Deep Search, is to be able to inform the management agencies about the importance of this habitat, and then they can protect them. Limit as much as possible the human impacts in what are still relatively pristine coral reefs. You know, there aren't many of those left on Earth, and we just found a really big one.
Yeah.
This is huge. This is a really big finding. I'm thrilled.
Yes, absolutely.
Having high-quality scientific information is vital to protecting human health and the environment. As a world leader in scientific research, EPA makes its products available to states, tribes, communities, scientists, and the American public who rely on that data to make informed decisions. You can use EPA's research page to access all of the agency's products and tools, which are listed by environmental topic areas, like air, water, and land and waste management. Each topic area includes additional research, tools, and scientific publications. You can also find a list of the latest agency events, research funding, and job opportunities. If you want research highlights from your state, it's readily available at your fingertips. You can also discover thousands of scientific and technical products from EPA researchers and their partners in the Science Inventory. The content in the searchable database is divided into 3 main categories: reports, journals, and presentations. You can also find EPA publications that have been in leading peer-reviewed scientific and technical journals. Just enter a topic into the search field. You can narrow your search by choosing a specific product type or time frame. You can further refine your search results with additional keywords. If you have any trouble, the main Science Inventory page has a help feature that provides instructions on how to use the tool. Through these online resources, you can find the research you need and see the critical role science plays in EPA's work. This research provides the foundation for the actions EPA takes to protect your health and the environment. Learn more at epa.gov/research.
I can't hear you. That's what I'm talking about. Y'all take that same thing into the trip.
You will now have 2 minutes to complete as many proper push-ups as you can. Are you ready? Always ready. Ready up? Begin.
I feel great. I really do. Like all the hard work paid off.
It's a huge weight off my shoulders. I'm coming from battle stations. That's for sure. Battle stations about to get the best of me right now.
Take all of that. Work together as a team. Execute the mission. And the next time I see you, you'll be sailors. Hooyah Navy.
Battle Stations is a crucible event. They go in as recruits and they come out sailors.
The most nerve-wracking part about going into battle stations was knowing that if we don't pass battle stations, there is no way that you will graduate.
Hooyah, battle station! Hooyah, battle station! Hooyah, future sailors! Hooyah, future sailors! Division! All we do, 1, 2.
We get to battle stations around 8 o'clock at night.
All right, y'all are motivated. That's great. You need to maintain that motivation all throughout the night. You're tired now? This is gonna be nothing at 04, 05, 06.
Chief, Division 229, man, ready for battle station, Chief!
So battle stations is the final test before you can graduate boot camp. It is all night long, and it's basically all of the classes that you've had and all the training that you've had since you came to boot camp, just all crammed into one.
We try to keep everybody in line, try to keep everybody awake, try to keep everybody as less stressed as possible, try to keep everybody happy. And I think we did a good job. There's not much that I can say about battle station. It's just that it's very tiring. It's very stressful.
You got to rely on your shipmates next to you to make sure that you all got through it efficiently. It made me kind of think about my job and my role as far as the Navy goes. it really made me appreciate how important it is for every single member on that ship to know exactly what to do and where to go and how to get things done efficiently. That way you're not just looking for that one firefighter, that one DC man to come and save the day, so to say. So I really appreciated that part and that aspect of my training because everybody needs to know that.
Where's the other side? Hurry up!
One day left. Everybody is just really excited that we get to graduate tomorrow.
I need you to be done, all right?
And get to see our family and everything is done pretty much. That's the main thing. We're happy to be done with this. And I'm happy for all you guys are done with and everybody who finishes together.
You'll hear people say boot camp is a filter, not a pump. We're supposed to evaluate these people and decide whether they're sailors or not. But I will refuse to lower the standard to help someone achieve the goal that, in my opinion, is one of the greatest things you can do, and that's become a sailor. So all the recruits that do make it through my divisions, I'll be proud of and feel like I'm really helping out the fleet.
Well, for the captain ceremony, I got the chills, got the goosebumps, and I kind of tear up a little bit, I'm not even gonna lie. It's emotional, you know. It's been a long 8 weeks. All the things that we've been through.
It was kind of emotional. It was nice finally being able to shake my RDC's hands and shake my fellow shipmates' hands and trade in that recruit ball cap and finally get that ball cap that's been sitting in my rack since the day we got here. So it feels like a sense of accomplishment, just that whole ceremony and switching over. It feels great. I thought coming into the Navy as someone who had already finished college and been on my own and worked on my own job that this experience wouldn't change me as much as it has. But I can see the difference in it. I can see the difference the way I talk to people. It gives you so much more respect for yourself and so much more respect for other people.
I don't even know if it will ever hit me. I feel like it's just a change in my life. You know, when you change, you don't really notice it, but other people do. Boot camp have made me a product of myself that I want everybody to see. A personality that I never knew that I could have. And I'm really proud of myself. There's 1% of the United States that joins the military. And to be that 1% in the Navy is a sense of pride that you carry with you.
Our day-to-day job is a tough job. You have to be tough. That's what boot camp does. We create tough sailors so that ultimately our Navy is what the nation needs.
The challenge to come up here and do this job and to make civilians into sailors, it is the hardest job I've ever had, but it's the most rewarding job I've ever had. It's a feeling that you can't really explain to someone until they come up here, put the rope on, and graduate a division.
I'm really looking forward to not only what the Navy has for me, but what I can also give back to the Navy and to my country. I'm excited about being able to serve and say that I did serve, which wasn't necessarily at the top of my list when I walked into the recruiting station. Honestly, I was thinking more about, oh, I want to go to college or go back to college. I want the benefits, I want this, I want that. But after being here and after seeing how passionate that my RDCs were about being in the service and how much this means to them, it really made me redirect my attention for my reasoning of being here. I want to be here, I want to make my parents proud, I want to make my RDCs proud. So I just want to go out there and give my best, and at the end of the day, whether my time ends at 4 years or my time ends at 30 years, I want to say that my time that I served in the Navy, I gave everything I could have given, and that was it.
I finished Navy boot camp. I really finished Navy boot camp. Wow. I never thought I would have said that.
Yes, I am a United States sailor. It's kind of surreal, and I'm so proud of myself. I'm proud of the journey that I had to take to get here and all of the challenges and obstacles. It just makes this moment so much greater, knowing how far I had to come to be here.
I am a United States sailor now, and I feel completely different. I didn't come here a United States sailor, but I'm leaving a sailor now. And it's an amazing feeling, honestly.
I missed you a lot too.